I was chatting to a client today who's looking at buying off the plan. So she's currently in between jobs and as a result is unable to get a pre-approval to buy a property. So she's looking at potentially buying a property off the plan. This means that the property's not going to settle until the end of next year, which gives her plenty of time to find a job, get an employment, get everything ready, and then apply for finance closer to the time, and allows her to avoid missing out on what's becoming quite a hot market here in Melbourne at the moment. So it all kind of makes sense, but obviously comes with the risk of buying off the plan in that you can't be eligible for the finance now. You're just going to have to apply for the finance closer to settlement and hope that you're eligible. And obviously we can do some work up front to make sure that she is eligible, but she mentioned that this was her only solution on buying a property, given the way the current market is. She had to buy off the plan, all right? I made the point to her that really there's no difference in buying off the plan than buying a property, an existing property with a longer settlement. So we talked about buying a property with, say, 120-day settlement, and without a job, without a pre-approval, just buying the property. We've done the numbers up front. We know what she's probably going to make in her next role, and it's pretty comfortable with the borrowing capacity. We know she's got the savings and the deposit. So it's not as high risk as it sounds, but effectively would buy a property with no finance and no job, and basically hope to get a job between now and a few weeks before settlement so we can organise the finance. And she looked at me as if I was crazy, and it is a relatively risky move, but that's effectively what you're doing when you're buying off the plan. Because you may have a job now, everything may be in order now, but when you buy off the plan, you are looking forward to a future date, which is an undetermined future date. In this instance, it's supposed to settle in December next year, but it could be anywhere between, to be honest, December and 24 months later. And you're hoping that you're finance eligible at that time. You're not in between jobs, you haven't got sick, whatever hasn't happened to you. And so it's actually no riskier to buy a property today with a 120-day settlement and hope you get a job between now and then, even if you're not eligible for finance today. And I think this point sort of got across to the risks of buying off the plan, and that in reality, you can't be approved for finance and you're just hoping that you might be later, but also raised the possibility of potentially actually buying an existing property, getting a longer settlement, giving her time to find a job. There's actually probably more likelihood that she's gonna have a job in 120 days than she will in a year and a half, because we can predict something sooner a little bit easier. So it's food for thought in terms of the risks of buying off the plan. If you want to see if this is something that works for you, or if you want to understand the risks of buying off the plan a little bit better, shoot me a message.